Okay, we're going to try this again. I'm still in Albuquerque at my best friend's house, and she has a little bit of an internet problem here. And so I just started this live stream a few minutes ago, and it didn't work. It cut out. I hope we don't have a problem today, but oh my gosh, I'm kind of looking up here to see what this is saying. Okay, I'm just going to trust. Let's hope we can move forward with this. This is, oh good, so I see somebody. Let me get my glasses on. Just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me. Hi, Mary. Somebody give me a thumbs up or a heart that you're here and you can hear me, because this just cut out twice before. Mary, can you hear me? Okay. Let me just keep talking. I'll make sure that it looks like some of you are jumping on here, okay? If we have another problem, okay, thank you. If we have another problem, I'll maybe cut it short and move to another place in the house, but she's got a little bit of an internet problem here in the house, and so I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that it's going to go smoothly. Welcome to the Revolutionary Love Group here, where we're talking about all things love and relationship. And today is just a live stream that's a Q&A open to all of your questions. I'm just leaving it open for you. I have a couple that people have sent in from the last two live streams I've done. The last previous one was on the "But I Love Him." Doesn't that mean something? And the other one was on "Dating is Not a Relationship." And after those two, I've had so many emails and private messages coming through with some questions. A couple of people hired me to work with them for 8 weeks on this. Yay, that's so exciting to me that any of you that are going to dig deeper into this work, and my own clients that have been on here that have gone deeper with their work on this. So this is really, really exciting. Hi, Julie. So let me just take a moment before we jump into the questions and say hi. Hi, Terry. Glad you're here. Hi, Julie. This is just a Q&A. I might be on here just to answer these two questions that I have that were sent in, or I might be on here quite a bit longer if all of you who are here live are willing to post some questions in the comments. So while I'm just chatting for 1 second, you guys, Julie, Terry, if you have some questions, think about how to boil them down to a real short question and put them in the comments here, okay? And I'll make sure that I answer those too. So lots of great feedback about these last two live streams. I'm so excited. You know I am. You keep hearing me say this. To know and to hear from you guys that this is what you've been waiting for. That these free teachings, these live streams where you can either be here live or just sit in an evening and listen to this, are so helpful to you and so helpful to your friends and family. I can't tell you how many of you have said that you've shared these videos with somebody specifically, that you're saying, I know somebody who's struggling, or I know somebody who's wanting to date and really needs to know this, or I know somebody who's really confused about this. So thank you so much for taking the time to grab a hand, to share this video, to help other people with this information. And I'm so thrilled that this is what you've been wanting, and I've found a way to get these teachings out there in a bigger way. So again, today is just an open Q&A. I might be here just for a few minutes. I got nothing to talk about other than to answer your specific questions. I want to help you specifically. So every week I'll give you these teachings, and then I'm going to give you this opportunity to ask me a specific question tailored just to what you're having a struggle with, or a question around, or still feel confused around. So I'm hoping you'll use it. If we don't, I'll probably end up just dumping out the Q&A next month and, add a teaching in, okay? So since I don't see a question coming through right now, please feel free to send one. And then when I'm done with these, I'll get my glasses back on and we'll look. I'll go to a couple that I've been sent in, okay? So the first one that I have says, I learned so much about dating and how to do it really different from this last live stream on Dating is Not a Relationship. Thank you. I know, it's good stuff, isn't it? Should I know this person, so they've told me that they've been online dating for a while and it's not felt easeful, let's just say. Hi, Michelle, I'm glad you're here. So she said, I learned so much about dating differently in this last live stream. Should I stop, regroup, and then move forward? Or should I just keep dating online and try to apply this? First of all, what you're always going to hear me say, no matter what question any of you ask me, and when I work with clients, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Hi, Les. I want you to practice learning to check in with yourself and trust your intuition, your gut, the universe speaking to you, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Hi, Susan. That's the first thing we always do. We don't listen to Coach Beck. The very first thing we do is we listen to ourselves. Then you listen to Coach Beck. Okay? So the question is for the last couple of you that just jumped on was, she listened to the Last Dating Is Not a Relationship live stream, learned so much about how to date different, is online, is wondering, should I stop? Should I regroup? And maybe give myself a little space and then jump back in. First, you listen to yourself. What kind of hit are you getting about whether that's a good idea or not? If you're asking the question, I'm thinking that's probably the hit that you're getting. If I was working with you and you were my client, I would be suggesting that. I would be saying, these are deep teachings. And as you heard me say last week or on Sunday, these teachings are not just about information and skills and tools. They're about new ways of thinking. They're about holding new mindsets. And that takes a little time to integrate. So if you're dating, you've been dating, it hasn't felt easeful, it hasn't felt fun, it's been a struggle, that is what I would do. So I would encourage all of you who are in that place to say, yeah, we're at the end of October. What if you took the next 30 days at least and said, okay, maybe I'm going to stop dating. Maybe, you don't have to close out your site. Maybe I'm just going to stop putting a lot of energy into looking online or dating or asking friends to hook me up with somebody. And maybe I'm going to spend some time in some good, solid self-reflection. Maybe I'm really actually going to get my journal out and do the work that Barb suggested. Not just think about it and go, God, that was a great video stream, Maybe I'm going to really do this work myself or grab a friend and work on it together. And maybe I'm really going to take my journal and answer these questions. Who am I? Not just, oh, I know, that's a really great question. No, what's the answer? Who am I? And what do I want? If you can't answer those questions, it's not time to date. You've got to be able to understand who you are and what you want. We're not even talking about dating yet. And then, what are your requirements? And when I work with clients on requirements, most of the time, by the time beginning to end, it's usually a good 4 to 6 week process. Because we play around and test them and make sure they really are a requirement, not just a need. And it takes some time to integrate those things into our being so that when we go out dating, we're not trying to recall like a list we've written in our head. We feel here deeply, oh, this is who I am. This is what I want. These are my requirements. I don't have to memorize them. They easily now flow when I'm having a conversation with somebody. So yeah, do I think it's a good thing? If you feel like this information has been new information or powerful information, yeah, I would say take a little time, step back, regroup, do this work. Speak to a good friend about what your requirements are. Yeah, good thumbs up on that. Give me some hearts and some love here if this is making sense to you. And then when you feel like this is really integrated and this is part of who you are, and you could easily go out on a simple coffee date and start to have conversations integrating in your requirements and sorting and screening it easily and being able to set those boundaries quickly. If you know that you don't want a second date, to be able to easily be able to say that sentence like, this is so nice to meet you. I really appreciate you taking time to sit here with me. I don't feel the connection between us, but I wish you well. If you can't do that with ease, yeah, let's regroup and take some time. Okay, great question. Okay, hi Brian. All right, let's take the second question. In the but I love him, doesn't that mean something live stream? What do I do if I really hold to my requests and he says he'll change? I've seen the potential in him, Barb. I really have. I know that it's possible for him to change. You're killing me here. Oh my God, any of you who know me, when I hear that word, potential, you're killing me here with this question. Potential is the deadliest word in a relationship. And yes, it is one of those things that both men and women do, but so many women do in this, here's my list of all the ways my requirements are not met. Not just, oh, things are happening. Here's a list of all the ways my requirements aren't met. Like, oh, he can't be honest with me ever. Oh, he's verbally abusive. Okay, here's my list of all the things that go on. He's constantly secretly texting somebody he met out at the bar when we were out there and I went to the restroom. And then we come to the what? What'd you hear me say in that live stream? You can say it with me here. I know, I can actually probably hear you. But I love him or her. Doesn't that mean something? No. It means that you have warm feelings still. You feel some kind of emotional connection still. You're thinking about some nice memories. And ready for this? What you wrote here? You're remembering a time when you saw some potential in this person. You're remembering a time or 2 times or a handful of times out of 5 years that this person, wow, they showed up well, they did something kind. Maybe it was when you were first dating. Okay, remember when I talked on Sunday about the teachings that I give being more than fluff and superficial teachings? And that most of what I really want you to listen to and understand are the change in thinking, the change in a mindset, that is the deeper learning, and the ability to self-reflect and look at your levels of emotional immaturity that are showing up. Okay, this is where I want you to look at that place where you have the habit or the tendency to look at someone that you're with who's supposed to be an equal partner, a person who loves you, a person who can prioritize the relationship, do what is in the best interest of the relationship, and all you're hanging on to is, I've seen the potential in this person. That means nothing. Absolutely nothing. What matters and what means something? What someone actually does. Their actions, their behaviors. And if somebody's made a horrible mistake, genuine remorse, I'm not talking about shame. I don't believe in shame or guilt. Those are wasted emotions. Genuine remorse, that's a great thing to have. Because genuine remorse and making amends and offering a genuine apology followed up by change in behavior, change in actions is a beautiful, wonderful thing. Potential, that's you wasting your time. And by the way, somebody else's life is their own. Get your hands and your eyes off of somebody else's life, including somebody that you're dating or a partner or a spouse. What they do, how they live their life, how they're showing up, the decisions that they make is not your business. Isn't that wild to think about? You know when I said on Sunday, grab your journal and put stars around certain things that are a change in thinking? This is one. It's not your business what somebody else is doing, whether they're willing to grow or change or follow you on a growth path or listen to your requests for behavior change or whatever. Now, I know right now everybody's thinking, oh my God, what the hell is she talking about? I mean, I just have to put up with crap? Of course not. That's what boundaries are for. But I'm saying each person is living their own life. If you're going to be somebody who sits there looking at somebody's potential, because you're pretty sure that this person could change and end up being a fabulous guy, this woman could change and stop having affairs on you over and over, you're wasting your precious time. Get your focus on you, your life, your personal standards, your personal honor code. Make sure you're showing up as the man or woman that you want to be and you can be proud of, and then start setting some good, solid boundaries. There's a big difference between nagging somebody about their potential that you remember seeing sometime last year and making a strong request and saying, for me to continue to stay in this relationship, this is how things would really need to change between us. I love you, but this dynamic that's been set up, and one that I've fallen into too, is not creating a healthy relationship between us, and I'm not willing to do it anymore. So here's my boundary, not doing this anymore, and here's my request, and it is a request. It's not a demand, and it's not something where I'm going to sit there and just wait and watch for your potential and see if I can nag you into change. It's not your business. Stop it. Get your hands off somebody else's life. Be strong enough and willing enough to sit and say, show me who you are. Show me how you want to live your life. And I will use my wise discernment and decide if that works for me. That takes some inner strength, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let me look at another question. And first, let me see, do I have any questions? Hi, Maria. I'm so glad you're here. Sarah. Hi, everybody. But there's no questions that you're sending. Okay, it's going to be a short one. So I've answered 2 questions. For any of you that are just jumping on here, go back and listen to the live stream, and please share it. Sarah, I just walked away from a situation where I found myself doing that. Doing what, Sarah? Potential? Give me either a thumbs up or say yes. Sarah. Did you walk away from a situation where you found yourself doing that, meaning waiting for somebody's potential? Yeah, she gave me a thumbs up. Good. Good, Sarah. And you know what? That's not about them. I know you and I love you and you've been my client, so I can say it to you straight up like this. Bad on you, right? I've done it. Bad on me. Dumb thing to do. Potential. If you ever hear that word come out of your mouth, I want you to start laughing out loud. I'm serious. That's the new game plan here. When you hear that word come out of your mouth, I want you to just start laughing out loud and say, oh my God, okay, that is so funny. I'm going to send a message to Barb and let her know I said that word today. And then that I stepped away from it and went, potential means nothing. The worst person in the world has got some great potential, has probably showed up well now and then. Not your business. Let yourself off the hook. Let's look at your potential and let's look at where you can grow. Let's look at where you can grow and up-level your emotional maturity. What's showing up? What level of emotional immaturity is showing up that has you sit there and wait, looking at somebody's potential and hope they change? That's some growing up you need to do. And I've been there and I know this. I had to wake up to this. So I'm challenging you to do that too. Okay? All right. Let me read this question. Okay. This person says, what if you've lost that loving feeling? What do you do? You know my history with medical crap in the past few years. Now that I'm back out in the world and moving forward, I'm not interested in sex anymore. It's exhausting. I'm already working my job and business and all the housework plus home repairs, maintenance, and pets. I have nothing left at bedtime, and even if I did, I'm not in the mood to compete with the TV and the computer. I've bridged the subject a few times only to be met with resistance and the old, you said you don't care about sex anymore argument. I just don't even want sex. I do love my partner and I want to be together, but it's just not the same anymore. We're going to have a live stream just on all the sex questions. And they fall into these 2 categories mainly. Dating, don't have a partner, all the questions that are around sex around that. You know, When should you have sex when you're dating? When is too soon? How long can you wait? If I'm single, what do I do about wanting sex and not having sex? Is it okay to have sex with friends or friends with benefits? All the questions that come around being single and dating and when and where and all those kind of things. And the other group of questions usually fall into the category of, I really am not interested in sex anymore, or some version of, we've been in this relationship a long time, or a few years, or something, and one or both of us, usually one, is just not interested in sex anymore. Or our sex life is so boring now, all of the fun and the newness and, all of those exciting high feelings are gone. So it's really hard for us to keep finding time to make love because, who cares? Those are the two categories. We're going to have a live stream in November just on the topic of sex, okay? And we're going to answer all those. Let me answer this one first. I won't even go right now into answering what can I help them do about getting a sex life back. I'm sure a lot of you heard in that question some things yourself, didn't you? Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you heard something yourself. Come on, you guys are smart here. You're my smart, bright, brilliant clients, and you're all my revolutionary lovers who are doing this different. Did you hear some red flags here? Yeah. Okay. So if I'm working with this person or with this couple, the very first thing that I'm doing sitting down with them or this one person is saying, first of all, what I've heard you say over and over with both of you is we've got a million things going on that are more important than our connection in the relationship, our physical connection, and I would say the emotional connection. So that's the first thing I hear. We busy. We've got jobs and work and pets and home and groceries and dinner and, businesses to run. And that's what happens with the majority of couples. In the beginning, we make time, not just for sex, but for intimate connection, loving connection, time for long meandering conversations, time for emotional connection. And if any of you have heard me here or worked with me over the years, you know that I've said to you a million times, when there become problems in a relationship, most people will say, oh, it's our communication. And I'm telling you, it's not your communication. Most people communicate really well. We communicate well at work, don't we? We communicate well when we need to. It's not the communication. It's the emotional connection that's getting stretched too thin or has gone flying out the window. With this couple, you can hear right away what's getting stretched too thin or has gone out the window. The emotional connection. What do I mean by that? That sense, I always point here, that bond, that sense that we have of I'm connected to you, I'm bonded to you. That feeling of I have your back and you have mine. We are a team. We are emotionally connected. That gets stretched too thin when we stop making the relationship the priority and start getting busy in our lives. And you heard this person say, we're busy with this and this and this and this and this and this. And then when I come to my partner, she's busy with this and this and this and this. And we're burying our head in TV and computers. And I'm busy doing this and this and that. And I don't know if you heard it, but I also heard some resentments under there. Oh my God, do you want to know what kills the sexual feelings? Resentments. So the first thing I would do would say, I want you to get out a Post-it note, a big Post-it note like this. And I want you to write on it this question. Is this in the best interest of our relationship? Question mark up on the refrigerator where you see it all day long. Or am I doing what's in the best interest of the relationship? This is a powerful, powerful question for anybody who's been dating someone a long time, in a long-term relationship, or in a marriage. and you've moved into either that power struggle or that feeling of really big disconnect, if you will put on your refrigerator that post-it note that says, is this in the best interest of our relationship? You will be stunned how many times your eyes light on that and then you think, oh my gosh. And what that question does is help you pause and take a step back and think about the next word that's going to come out of your mouth, the next thing that you were going to do, that resentment that you were starting to feel, that you were just going to stomp upstairs and be like, she doesn't even freaking care, I don't care, I'm going to go up. And you'll look at that and you'll say, is that in the best interest of your relationship? And hopefully, if you're here, I don't know why you're here if you're not going to do this work. If you're here, you're going to see that and you're going to take a deep breath and go, okay, so here are the places for me where I add pain and disconnect to my relationship. Interesting. I thought it was my partner. Fascinating. Oh, look, here's exactly where I add to the disconnect. I want you to be curious. I want you to be fascinated. And I want you to make the change. What we need to do with this couple that I just read the question about is work first not on getting a sexual relationship back. I could care less what you're doing in bed right now. We need to work on two things. Making the relationship the priority again. It was when you were dating. And then working to get the emotional connection back. And that means the relationship has to be important, not the computer, not the other side business, not any of those things. It doesn't mean that we ignore those things. It means that if you want the benefits of being in a long-term loving relationship, and there are many, many benefits, then step up to the responsibilities of being in a relationship. If you have the benefit, think of all my single friends, all my single clients who would love to trade places with you and be in a love relationship or in a marriage. If you have the benefit of being in a love relationship, you said yes to the responsibility of being in one. You said yes to show up well, and you did that at first, which is why it flourished. All we do now is we get back to that, and both parties need to take 100% responsibility for their part in that emotional connection getting broken down. No finger pointing, no talking about what the other person is doing. You start by sitting on the couch, holding hands, looking at each other and say, let me tell you what I've been doing that I can see now that's been adding to the emotional disconnect between us. Let me tell you what I've realized when I self-reflected that I've been doing that's probably made you feel like I don't care about you anymore. When you get that sense of connection back, that immediately adds to the warm feelings, which immediately add to the feeling of connection, which immediately add to the feeling of desire. I'm the first to admit to you, I'm through menopause. I understand that physically, sometimes things go on where, man, we have a period that we go through where we're like, I got nothing. I cannot seem to muster up a lot of sexual desire. I get that. I can relate to that. I have a lot of empathy for that. That's a whole nother live stream that we can talk about really going and making sure you get good physicals and checkups and see if there's anything that we can do. But I'm telling you, without any of that in the mix, if you plan to be in a long-term relationship, those sexual feelings and that intense desire is going to calm down. And many times, you're going to feel like it's just not there. And the same with loving feelings. We act loving regardless of how we feel that day. We act kind regardless of whether we feel kind that day. That's mature love. You've heard me say that in some of these first couple of live streams. What is mature love? The ability to show up as a loving person regardless of how you feel in any given moment. That's maturity. And maturity in real love means being able to take ownership of everything that you do, say, what comes out of your mouth, whether you're adding kindness and love or criticism, blame, and resentments into the mix. So that's where I want you to start, my loving friends who sent me that question in, okay? We're going to start telling the truth. We're going to start looking at our calendar and making time every evening for a little time of connection, warmth, affection. Affection can lead to deeper connection, okay? I want to hear that you're doing that. You're going to send me some messages this week that you're starting on that, okay? All right, that's all I've got. Let me look here and see if you guys have posted any questions. Hi, Chris. Hi, Steph. I don't see any questions, and I don't see any that have been sent here to my email. So those are the 3 that came in today. For any of you that are here later watching the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm thrilled that you're part of this group. Next week, Wednesday, the live stream is on midlife crisis. Is a midlife crisis real? The answer is it absolutely is, but it's not what you think. So anybody in any kind of committed relationship, whether you're new into it a few years or whether you've been in a 25-year marriage and you've got something going on that in the back of your mind you're thinking, this kind of feels or sounds like it's that old school midlife crisis or something, I want you to tune in. Please share this video and please share with your friends that this is the place where they can finally get all of these all things love and relationship and intimacy teachings, okay? I'm so glad that you're here. I love doing this. I love that it's making a difference in your world. Many blessings to all of you. Have a wonderful day. Do something nice for yourself and do something kind for somebody else. Bye, you guys.